right, Monday 300 class. We're going to start is for the purple black belts. These are the rest of the basics you guys are looking for. So we're going to be focusing on stances as well as kicks. So for your guys' belt, we have 2 stances we need to know, and I'm going to give you a way to practice both of them. So the first one is going to be what we call our wide hourglass stance. So a good way to practice this at home is just to put the hands on the hips, and it's essentially a horse stance, but all I'm doing is I'm putting it on an angle. So if I start with my right foot forward, I step in on an angle, and then what I want to do is keep my horse stance on the angle, but I turn my upper body as far as I can without letting this knee fall in. So it's the wide hourglass stance. So to go through the middle, I'll just pull in and step on the 45. And if you notice, I'm still trying to turn the body, so I come in and step. I can do it backwards. And then one more. Next one is going to be the half moon stance. So this one is actually the reason we don't want to let the body turn all the way and let that back knee turn in is because this is actually the half moon stance for you guys. So what it is, it's picture a forward stance. So instead of an outward pressure with my stance, I'm turning everything in. So it's compressed. If you notice, the front foot's kind of on a 45. So that's actually going to be a big part of our transition. So to switch, I take the foot, I turn on the ball of the foot, pull in, and then step out. And again, knees are squeezed in, foot's on the 45. So I'll do that again. So I turn, in, and step. One more time. So turn, in, and step. And I'll back up, I'll do the whole thing. So I turn it, in, and step. Now to put those two together, I can practice both of them as I go through. So I can start with my wide hourglass stance, and then I can just check it, turn the hip, half moon stance. So I'll do one more set, turn it, in, wide hourglass, half moon stance. So that covers the 2 stances you guys want to have for this belt. The next thing we're going to go over is some of your kicks. The first one, if I'm in my fighting stance, this is called a returning wave kick. Now it looks identical to when you guys learned the inside foot sweep from purple belt. However, this is a kick. So instead of emphasizing sweeping on the floor, what I'm focusing on is kicking up and in. There might be someone's knee there. The idea is I'm coming in and striking. And if you listen, I don't want to hear this. It's just a pop, a strike. So again, that's the returning wave kick. The next set of kicks we have is our double step kicks or our shuffle kicks. So the first one that I'm going to show you guys is our double step front kick. The biggest thing is whatever foot you have in front for the rest of these kicks, that's the foot you're going to be kicking with. And that's also the foot that you want for the rest of the time. So what I'll do to do the kick is I'll bring my back foot up, left leg does the front kick, and then I'll put it down back in front. So again, I step, kick, and down. So I put it together, in. And then double step front kick. For the rest of them, we'll switch sides. The next set are called the shuffle kicks, but it's typically the same thing. It's just instead of being in a fighting stance, like when we were doing our front kick, I'm in a horse stance now. So the first one we're going to go over is shuffle roundhouse kick. Again, the front foot does the kick. So I step my back foot up, roundhouse and down. Again, roundhouse and down. Focusing on pointing the knee where I'm going, I kick myself into the technique and land. Switching back, next one we have is shuffle side kick. Same rules apply, but again, make sure whatever foot's in front, that's the foot we're kicking with. So I come up, side kick, and last one, side kick. Going back and switching sides. Last one we have is our shuffle hook kick. So take your time on this one, make sure. What's nice about this one and doing all these kicks is because my body's already sideways, I don't have to really worry about pivoting because I already want my belt not there. So I'm here, the belt knot's already where it's gotta be. I just lift the foot and land. So I put it together, kick, one more, shuffle roundhouse kick. So that covers the techniques for you guys. I'm gonna kick it off to Honcho, no pun intended, but there it is. And he'll go over some of the brown belt basics.
Excellent. Happy Monday. Good to see everyone this evening. We're going to start with a little stance drill. Now, for our third cues going to second cue, you've now learned the final stance in our cue belt curriculum, which is the leaning stance. I'm going to demonstrate that. Before we get to that, though, I do want to do a little drill to kind of put everything together, something that the whole class can work on. Stances build good karate. So, I'll start with my hands on the hips. We're going to start with forward stance, then kutsudachi. So I'm going to move through the middle, push my hips in. Imagine someone's tugging on your belt and pushing you into the next stance, okay? From here, we're going to go kibadachi or horse stance. My left leg moves my rear leg. I shift back and I push my heels and knees out tucking my hips under, good horse stance here, okay? Next is kokutadachi, or back stance. My front foot will turn straight, and I shift my weight back a little bit, pushing it over that rear hip, and now I'm in my back stance. From here, Niko Ashidachi is next, or cat leg stance. I'm gonna squeeze with the inner thigh, compressing the knees in, and moving to a cat stance. As I mentioned, remember not to come up here. This is a big time everyone stands up straight, but the cat stance is just as deep as every other stance, so try to stay low. After that, crane leg stance, or sage ashidachi. I pivot my body, my foot will go behind, and I wrap my leg up tight. It's wrapped tight behind my knee, my eyes are forward. Imagine someone pulling you by a string, elongating your posture, chin up, okay? From here, shift, and then cross stance, okay? Squeeze the knees in. Most of the weight's on the front foot. The rear leg has very little. From here, we'll go hourglass stance. Oh, by the way, the Japanese for the cross stance is kosadachi, okay? Next is sanchindachi, or hourglass stance. Sweep your leg around. Make sure your back foot goes straight. Squeeze the knees in, tuck the hips under for a good hourglass stance. For an extra benefit, try to push your feet outward while not letting them shift. That really clenches the legs and makes you nice and strong. Final one is the neo-dachi, or leaning stance. For this one, you're going to step out and you can lean the body a little bit. See, my feet are on the same line. Not only that, my toes are on the same line too, meaning they're parallel lines. To practice this one, if you want to switch sides, all you do is shift your hip and let your weight transfer the other way. Try not to focus on your feet turning your body, but rather your hips twisting and turning your whole body for the leaning stance, okay? Next on the agenda, one more thing. We'll go through our kicks for our our third cue brown belts going to second cue. These are gonna be the rear leg kicks. You're not gonna do any stepping. The goal here is to kick, recover back to your stance, okay? So I started my fighting stance. Try to have your hands out in front of you a little bit. Be nice and loose with this posture, okay? Essentially, when you're kicking, try not to be tight on the upper body, but be loose. For a front kick, you're gonna use the rear leg. Push your hip into it, kick and back. Again, push your hip into it, out and in. One more, push the hip, out and in. Notice my hands didn't move. I don't switch the hands on front kick. Next is Mawashi Geri, or roundhouse kick. For this one, focus on the front foot pivoting as you bring the body up and then returning in, okay? For the whole kick, pivot, snap, and then back. One more. Okay. Next is side kick, yoko geri. For this one, bring your knee up to the side, push your hip into the technique, out, and then back in. All right, again, knee up, out, and then back in. One more, all the way. Okay. Final technique is kagigeri, or a hook kick. Use the rear leg. You're going to bring this leg up and swing across, okay? It starts with the same chamber as side kick, so the knees up over here, heel down, toes up, and then push your hip out, hook across, and then back to your stance. One more, come up, hook across, and then back. Kagigeri, or hook kick. Hope that's helpful. Feel free to review the video, practice, and make sure you work on that drill. Senpai's going to take over for our candidates.
All right, good job, everybody. Hancho's an excellent job with the instruction. I love everybody's class today. All right, make a nice, good fighting stance. We're going to go into our kicking sequence. This is great for anybody taking a black belt exam sometime this year. So the first kick is a front kick. We want to make sure, like Hancho was just doing, the hip goes into the kick. The difference is in the sequence, we travel on the kick, so still make sure you retract all the way. That's the first one. Then roundhouse kick is the next one. I'm sorry, let me do that one more time. So front kick, then foot sweep, low is the next one. Then the roundhouse kick, 3. When you land, start to pivot and turn for your back kick. You want to have that eye over the shoulder. Throw the back kick. Now, as you're landing, extend your body with the back fist to use that to add power to that last reverse punch. Then immediately, you turn and snap. So I'll do it one more time from this view. Front kick, land, foot sweep, land, roundhouse kick, land as you're turning, back kick, back fist, using that back fist to stretch, and yeah, turn immediately to come on. Okay, everybody? So that's breaking it down. As you're moving, like Hancho was talking about, relax the upper body so it's nice and fluid. This is a great way just to get the basic pattern down, nice and relaxed, just loosely flowing, twisting, turning, and then you can put your power to. I'll do one last one all the way through with focus. Yeah! Okay, everybody, so try to get that nice focus punch at the end and then snap to that good concentration so you can pass that black belt test. Great job. I'll see you soon.